Hello everyone, welcome back. Sorry for the lower camera quality today. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about Blender drama. Not much, right? I don't want to be a drama channel and I'm not here to get anyone in trouble, but I thought this one might be a little bit educational. So we're going to talk about this post here that I found on the subreddit 12 days ago at the time of recording this. And you can see it's quite a long one, but the title is Blender Market is Greedy and Hurtful to the Blender Community. We're going to talk a little bit about the points in it because there's some stuff that you may not be aware of. So for some context before we get into it, I distribute my add-ons and resources on two main websites. That's Gumroad and Blender Market, which is going to be renamed to Superhive. I used to distribute them on other platforms, so like ArtStation was another one. I decided to stop selling on ArtStation because they would modify my product descriptions without asking me. So they have a policy about not linking to other website stores, right, which is fair as a policy. I didn't do that. I think I linked to my own website, curtisholt.online, and then they went through and then modified all of my store page descriptions without asking me, and then sent an email afterwards saying that they've modified things. And I said, okay, no, don't do that. Tell me if you have a problem before you do that. And it's not even a different website store, right? Yes, I list where people can get the products on my website in different stores, but that's a little bit insecure. If you're going to go modifying my wording without me knowing about it, then I'm not going to distribute here. So I just took everything off the ArtStation. So I'm only doing it on Gumroad and Blender Market. Gumroad is the better one for commission. Blender Market takes a lot of money, and that's actually something that they're going to talk about in this. And Blender Market also restricts features which don't make any sense. So for example, and this is again something that will be mentioned, on Gumroad we can make discount codes for anything without limitation. And that's a good thing because it means Gumroad makes more money from discounts and sales because people are much more likely to buy things on sale. Blender Market, on the other hand, for some reason, restricts the ability to make discounts and coupon codes to only people that have a paid account, which doesn't really make sense to me because I don't have an upgraded account. Both me and Blender Market will make more money if I run a sale on Blender Market, in which case I will need access to the coupon code. So they're restricting it to upgraded accounts because they want to make more money from the creators. But if I'm not signed up to one of those accounts, then I can't make discount codes. Then I can't run my own sales. So neither of us make more money. And that has actually restricted me from doing this in the past. In the past, I have done specific sales on like products when there's an update or something. And I'll go, hey, it's 30% off like modular workspaces for 1 week. And I've only done them on Gumroad because Blender Market won't let me make coupons. So Blender Market has missed out on money. And that does actually literally translate to thousands of dollars. So I don't understand the logic behind it for Blender Market because they're restricting features behind paywalls for creators in an attempt to make more money. But in some cases, in my opinion, and from my own data, that's making them less money. They would have made more money from allowing me to make my own sales than they would have done from me paying for a subscription. So what's the point? Context: I'm a small Blender add-on creator using a throwaway account for obvious reasons. I might as well zoom in so you can read that a bit better. So I need a platform to sell my work, and there are only two choices, Blender Market and Gumroad. My favorite is Gumroad for reasons I will explain, but I have to be on Blender Market because so much of the community only buy from that website. So let's talk about that. That is interestingly kind of true. But it depends on the type of product. From what I've noticed, for very specific types of products, usually the higher cost ones, people feel more confident buying them on Blender Market, I think because there's a sense of an official nature behind it, something a bit more secure. You feel better buying something higher priced on something like Blender Market than something like Gumroad because Gumroad has a bit of like a fast and free payment feeling to it. It's harder to find the products once you've bought them. It's easier to navigate through your profile on Blender Market. You can see your list of purchases really easily. I think there's like a kind of professional feeling one way or the other. In some cases, it does literally look like for me that there's a 50-50 split on customers. In other cases, it's biased one way or the other, and it's never usually just one. It's not the case that Blender Market is always the higher purchaser. In many cases, Gumroad is the higher purchaser, but it just depends on the culture of the product, I think. It's a weird thing to explain. And since it's the only Blender-centric platform for selling products, I'm basically obligated to be on it. Yes, there is an expectation. So obviously we released Hex Scatter a little while ago, myself and Chris, or Azzy, you may know them by either name. And this was on Gumroad for the longest time because, well, only really because Azzy didn't have an account on Blender Market. But because it was just on Gumroad, I would get emails from people, not many, right? But they were there, asking me when it's going to be put on Blender Market. So there is a bit of an expectation. Also keep in mind, Blender Market is a website run by the Autotroph company. It's not affiliated with Blender's Foundation in any way, and it's generating millions of profit. So Autotroph does give back to the Blender Foundation in some variety of ways. Some money generated on the Blender Market website is provided to the Blender Dev Fund, but it's largely dependent on individual creators deciding to contribute a little bit of the money because you can adjust a slider, I think it's a slider, on your product page that says whether you want to give a percentage of your profits to the Blender Foundation. And if you do that, it'll put like a little love heart on your store page. I don't always do that on Blender Market. I would be more willing to do it, but the thing is, Blender Market already takes a lot of money from me. If they took less money, I'd be more inclined to give more of a percentage to the Blender Dev Fund. But just for some context anyway, I do pay the Blender Dev Fund every month anyway. The Blender Market fees are insane. The default fees are 30% of your price plus 49 cents and 5.5% from that. This means that when you purchase my $10 add-on, I only get $6 and 21 cents before taxes, compared to Gumroad's 10% fee plus 50 cents, which has a better website to work with and is overall more polished in every single way. For providing a worse service, Blender Market is making triple the money. Remember that all they do is host a few megabytes of an add-on and a product page with text and a few images. So obviously that depends on the product. But they are right though. If it's a very small product, and if the main concern for Blender Market having such a high commission rate is the maintenance of the website and the fees/costs for distributing something, why drag down an easier to maintain and distribute product like something that's only a few kilobytes or megabytes, right? If we are talking about add-ons, when there are much larger products on the website as well, which are many gigabytes. Is it fair having the same kind of commission there or not? Yes, you can subscribe to lower the fees. So basically creators like myself can pay Blender Market a certain amount of money every month to lower the amount of money they take from the product and get access to some other features like the coupon code creation that we talked about. But the thing is, it's quite pricey. By paying $49 a month, you can lower the fees by 10%. And for only $200 per month, you can lower the fees by another 10%. Wow. And with the higher subscription, you also get featured as a top creator. So instead of encouraging small creators that don't have that money available, they get milked while giving even more visibility to add-on creators that already have that kind of money, deserved or not, doesn't matter, as long as you pay your top creator, even if your add-on sucks. Yes, basically pay to win. It's not super encouraging for new people coming into the space. I don't pay for a Blender Market subscription because my income fluctuates wildly. Obviously, if you know me, I go through periods where I do welcome products and updates, and then I go through periods where like I'm dealing with some kind of medical problems and I move away from my work and I won't make much money for like a long period of time, and then I'll make quite a bit of money and then I'll go back to not making any money for a while. So for someone like me, why does it make sense for me to pay for a monthly service like that, where I don't know whether I'm going to be good at working on any particular month, if I'm going to be going up and down like that? I can't be confident that I'm going to make enough out of the website to pay for those subscriptions. If anything, it will just generate anxiety for me, because while I'm dealing with a personal problem for like a month or two, I'll be thinking, oh no, I'm paying like $200, oh no, $400 now just to drop the commission a little bit. I need to get back to work. Oh no, am I going to make the most out of it, etc.? And then I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that? They force donations to the Blender Fund with their heart system, which would be fine by me if they did not take such an enormous fee. So you actually get to control how much they take. But I think by that they mean what I said earlier, that since they're already taking such a large fee, why do we want to then give more away to the Blender Fund? If they were taking less, we would be more inclined. But I think that's what they mean by this. It's good in the sense because it's at least some money that ends up in the fund, even if it's usually only 1% of the price, since that's all that's needed to get the heart badge. Yeah, so a lot of people, I think myself included in a couple of cases, just put it on something really low to get the heart badge. But realistically, it's quite hypocritical. I say lower your fees to Gumroad levels or less, and then force a 5% donation for every product. Do I agree with that? I think I do. I mean, so Blender Market won't be able to do that because I think they've already struggled a bit financially. Bad business decisions or not, I don't know too much about behind the scenes. What I will say is I really like a lot of the people that work at Autotroph because I'm friends with a lot of, people in the community. And the problem with me talking about posts like this is I don't want it to come across as too critical, because a lot of them are really nice people, and it is extremely difficult maintaining a file distribution service and a storefront like this, in particular with all of the legal and financial elements that have to be considered when distributing products and paying people internationally. So there's all sorts of different regulations, tax stuff, which is another thing actually the Blender Market is slightly lacking in. But the point is, it's not easy. However, with that being said, raising the commission prices to very high levels to make it easier to maintain is, in my opinion, a lazy business practice. It's taking the easy way out. Rather than being creative with the business model, it's the most obvious thing to do. I think it's creatively bankrupt. I don't know if it's the best way to do things, but I am also of the mind that we shouldn't criticize without offering to help or provide alternate ways of doing things. The thing is, because as far as I'm aware, Autotroph haven't really given specifics about the decisions behind the business model. I mean, I've read some emails where they've said that prices are going to raise or not. I don't know how easy it would be to change things like that. But I guess one of the nice things about the Blender community is the open source spirit of things should encourage transparency, right? So it would be nice to get a bit more transparency on that, because we've had good relationships with Blender Market and Autotroph and the people that run it and the other sub brands of Autotroph. I don't want to not have a relationship with them. They're also the people I meet at the Blender conference, and they're super sweet and super nice from what I've seen from my personal experiences. But I don't know much about what goes on behind the scenes, because there's also been situations where they've hired someone else that I really like and then let them go not too long afterwards. And I wasn't brave enough to ask why. I'm not a fan of layoffs. Again, that's lazy business planning. I'm also worried that they'll kick me off the platform for making a video like this. Please don't. Because I do like Blender Market. I actually quite like it as a platform. I don't agree with everything here, where they're saying that Gumroad has like a better system. I think Gumroad's design is also quite lazy in a lot of ways. I actually prefer the layout of Blender Market in a lot of cases. But there are some like little annoyances. The collaboration system, by the way, is just smooth on Blender Market. Gumroad's is barely functional. I pestered Sahil, the CEO of Gumroad, for years about adding a money split system so creators can automatically split the revenue. The thing is, for Gumroad, it seems to work only when people don't pay with PayPal. And I raised this as a problem because I'm getting all of Chris's money for Hexscatter when people pay through PayPal, which shouldn't be right. So I have to try and now figure out a system to correct only the PayPal purchases. But it also seems to be the case that Blender isn't reporting that information correctly to them. So we're kind of stuck in this weird spot where we're trying to figure out how to fix Gumroad's broken revenue split system. But that's not a problem with Blender Market. It just works in Blender Market. So props to them for that. And by the way, as he is aware of that, what I've just told you about the Gumroad, we've been talking about it, it's an annoying thing. And you may have actually known recently that Gumroad removed the ability to pay with PayPal for a while and then introduced it afterwards. I thought that might have been my bad. They said it was because PayPal stopped it, but it suspiciously was removed from Gumroad after I emailed them telling them that they weren't actually splitting PayPal revenue, so that collaborators might be owed a lot of money by Gumroad. They said they were looking into it. I never heard back. Randomly, the PayPal system came back online, and it still doesn't work. I might be wrong about some of that stuff. I'll just say that for legal reasons. I might be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things, but it's just something I'm keeping an eye on. Anyway, let's carry on. Anytime you want to post a new add-on, you have to go through a review. Okay, this is an interesting thing. You have to go through a review, but I don't, because Blender Market does have an approved creator system behind the scenes, where trusted creators don't have to get approvals for new products. Now, we could debate whether that's fair or not. I actually think it is a good idea within reason. And yes, you would just say that because you're an approved creator. No, because there is genuinely a lot of low effort crap that gets put up on sale in the Blender space. And Blender Market does want to preserve a kind of professional integrity. And what we were saying earlier, that I have noticed that some people prefer buying higher priced products on Blender Market rather than Gumroad because they do have a professional brand to them. So having an approved creator system is a way of maintaining that. So I'm not against that idea, but they'll talk a bit more about this. So a new add-on has to go through a review where a staff member from Blender Market manually reviews the add-on. It takes forever, several days. That's not forever, okay? There are other storefronts where it takes a hell of a lot longer to get review processes. Now, several days is a long time if you're unaware of the system and you're releasing a release video and trying to publish it at the same time, and then you didn't realize that, oh no, you have to wait, but several days is not long. I mean, back in the old Unity days, sometimes it could take weeks to get a review, and they will deny the submission for no good reason. Okay, so that's the bit that is worth a conversation, because you need consistency, right? And it seems like there might not be consistency. If they do, you have to make changes and wait several days again. For example, they denied mine because images in the gallery were not a 2:1 ratio, even though this ratio is only recommended. Okay, that's very annoying. You should not have to wait several days again for a slight aspect ratio change. In my mind, they should approve it. If that's the only problem, they should approve it and then just leave you a note saying, okay, it's ready to go out, but just to know, it might be nicer if you change these aspect ratios, but otherwise it's fine. You know, saying no entirely just for that, and then making you wait all over again, I think that's a bad idea, because now both you and them are losing potential money. So on the website, it says that that's not mandatory. Also, why 2:1? Can you make the design work with 16:9, which is a much more popular ratio anyway? And the funniest part is that you can do anything you want to your page once it's accepted. Yeah, that's true. So the whole thing makes no sense. So yeah, maybe a bit more consistency there would be a bit more beneficial. I submitted other add-ons that did not follow the image ratio rule and they were accepted, so it's really up to the reviewer's mood. Consistency is important. I think they do need to lax a little bit on that then. To get on the Blender Market, you already have to apply as a creator and get reviewed, and any new product has to get reviewed. Even though you literally prove that you are worthy of being a creator, they still treat you like a kid. So I'm not sure what the original creator application is like nowadays, because I did it, you know, some years ago. So I'll need to look into that. So I can't say whether the creator application actually does prove whether you're a decent product developer or not. But what I will say is that people have been allowed onto the platform that are not following the rules and are performing borderline illegal or just straight up illegal practices relating to distributing other people's content or shady affiliate stuff, which we can get onto. Maybe not in this video because this is taking a while, maybe in a different one. But from what I've seen, just getting approved onto the website, having your account put up, does not necessarily state that you are actually a professional or worthy product creator. Does it make for a better buying experience? Maybe. Again, like I said, there is a professional brand they have managed to maintain that I've seen from my customer sales, but again, everything's open to debate. But it's not like Blender Market isn't full of trash products anyway. That's true. There are some really low effort things on Blender Market, and I don't want to start an argument there and say that, okay, well, I'm not calling everyone else's content low effort. That's definitely not the case. But there are some things where it's just like one low grade 3D model, if you know what I mean, like a bench. Okay. Why? They mention about scams happening. The thing is, on every single storefront service, someone will eventually come along and do something not legal or a scam. And it's not necessarily the storefront's fault for that. They do need to take it down when they're made aware of it, or a DMCA is filed and different pathways like that, right? But it's not necessarily their fault. There are always going to be terrible people that come along and exploit a service. We can't say that when that happens, it's always Blender Market's fault. There is an approval process, of course, so it just depends on whether they're aware of it. Maybe they should be more aware of that stuff, but that is a case-by-case basis. The website is a pain to work with, and the way you edit pages using a bad HTML implementation is just terrible to work with compared to Gumroad. They're both okay, that's what I'll say. New add-ons are invisible, while add-ons with lots of sales are always at the top of the front page, and that's kind of true. Okay, they could be a bit fair about that. It's a bad design. However, they are a business that needs to make money. So though it is not super fair having the same stuff on the front page all the time, by the way, I've been on the front page. Okay, so let's be fair. My Afterglow product, some of the imagery for that gets put on top of like the render setup page. It doesn't really help with sales much, but it is within Blender Market's interest to put the best selling products on the front page because they need to keep up the money to pay for the service for everyone else. But again, thinking a bit more creatively in a business sense, maybe more people would spend more money on Blender Market if they were introduced to things they don't already have. So if people already have like all of the top sellers and they want to find things that are relevant to their type of work, then maybe they should be exposed to new things or things which were new but then have sort of fallen out because maybe they weren't picked up on when they were new. So yeah, it does feel like there could be a bit more very creative discovery mode there. Blender Market does make an effort in trying to share some things. Actually, let's take a look. Let's go there now. All right, so I figure we might as well take a look just to be fair. Blender Market soon to be Superhive. So we've got Explore the Marketplace, Popular Items, and New Arrivals. So on the top, we've got different categories and Ayo, look who's featured. Again, like I said, it doesn't help with sales, at least not for me anyway. Here's the thing as well. If I click on render setups, oh, that looks interesting. I wonder what Afterglow is. Where am I? I was on the cover. And now people aren't thinking about that anymore because they've got all this other stuff. So that's just a complaint about me and probably why it doesn't help, because they look at that, they go, wow, that looks cool. Where is it? It's gone. I was on the staff picks for a while here. I don't know whether that made much of a difference. And then we're down to the most popular stuff in this again, and then top sellers, and then top rated, popular under 20. And we see, you know, some things appearing more than once. That's fine. But it is just like, again, the same things appearing multiple times. And again, no shade to the creators. We're not talking about the quality of their products, okay? Some of this stuff is amazing. It's just that if we're talking about like use of the available visual real estate, maybe instead of having like a popular and a top and then a top again, just mix it up a little bit, get a bit creative with throwing in some things which are not popular but are also not new. So the stuff in the middle that gets missed out. Back to the main page again. So we've got popular items this week. So the usual stuff you'll expect. Under popular, we have top rated, and then we have brand new. And then we have new from top creators. Okay, there's no point having that section. That's again just celebrating the top, not showing off anyone else. Just maybe mix it in a bit. We got popular top, popular top, popular top, and like one new section. So if there's someone putting out a lot of content, right, which can happen, then you could get very quickly pushed out the brand new list. So it's not really fair for new people that are coming along to the platform. And again, like we were saying about low effort content, maybe I am throwing a little bit of shade this time. Shopping basket 12. Really? So we scroll down to the bottom. For the love of Blender, Blender Market was created with a goal of empowering artists and developers to grow professionally, but we're not really helping people to grow if we're only showing off the people that got lucky, really. And again, not to say that that doesn't mean that the products aren't great, because they are, but there are small people now who want to start off their businesses, and they're going to start with small products because they're still learning, that may one day make the best add-ons, the best resources that you haven't even heard of yet because they haven't had the chance to get there. And those things that don't exist yet may make you more money than all of these, right? So hang on, may make you more money than all of these products combined, but you won't ever find them because the small people haven't been encouraged to keep going with their product development journey. So that's why it's important that, yes, we can celebrate the good sellers. We also need to give other people a chance. And again, suffocating them with the high fees is not a healthy way to do that. So it would be nice if there was a bit more of a fairer system. Now, just to carry on with the post, to be clear, I'm not hating on anyone behind Blender Market. Again, like I said, I like quite a lot of them. I'm hating on how the website is run as a business. Also, this is bad for add-on makers, but also buyers. With such high fees comes higher prices. With such treatment to new creators comes less diversity. Again, that's what I just said, that you need to encourage smaller creators to become the people that create the massive impressive things in the future. So if you are a buyer that only buys on Blender Market and never on Gumroad for some reason, I encourage you to rethink that. For your information, Gumroad recently re-added PayPal as a payment method. So yeah, like I said, we as product developers make more money on Gumroad than Blender Market. In terms of a per sale price, again, you might make more money on Blender Market if more people feel comfortable buying the product there. It just depends, again, a case-by-case basis. If you are a creator and sell your product for the same price on Gumroad and Blender Market, I suggest that you increase the price on Blender Market to reflect the fees. I don't want to do that. Maybe I should do that, but I don't want to because I don't like charging people more. You may know in the past I've had purchasing power parity enabled for different products on Gumroad depending on what they are. Not for everything, right? So I don't do it for the ones that have very specific licenses to them because the purchasing power parity isn't compatible with that kind of model. But I don't like the idea of making it harder for other people. But yes, you shouldn't necessarily feel bad about doing that because if you've got the lower priced option there on Gumroad, that's fine. But some people can't use Gumroad for paying. Now it's a bit easier. They've re-added PayPal, but there was an issue where people from different countries actually just can't use one website or the other for specific reasons relating to payment. So it's all very complicated. So make sure to check Gumroad before buying on Blender Market. And if the price is the same on both, you know that if you buy on Gumroad, the creator will make more money. That's true. Don't be fooled. Blender Market makes millions a year. It's not your friend. It's a business and they are alone on that niche market and milking it as hard as they can. Maybe that's a bit not fair. If it was that easy for them, then they wouldn't crash every time they had a sale. Okay, it's not easy maintaining a site like that. My opinion is that we need another Blender-centric website for selling products to hopefully get better prices for everyone, buyers and sellers. Competition is great. Competition breeds innovation. And if that was a thing, it would encourage the other to, compete and keep their commission rates low for sellers. So I'm not completely against that. So again, like I said, hopefully Autotroph and I still friends after this video. Hopefully I've tried to balance the points a bit. So again, just to reiterate a few things. Yes, Blender Market's fees are high. No, I don't like that. I also don't like that certain features are hidden behind the subscription model. I don't actually think the subscription model makes business sense in a lot of cases, especially with the coupons. I think whoever came up with that, really bad idea. But in other ways, I really like what they've done with Blender Market in terms of like layout, design, etc., except for when it comes to recommendations. They have managed to foster a professional brand feeling to them, which customers do resonate with because it gives them a sense of confidence over websites like Gumroad for certain products. The approval model does help maintaining that brand image, but the inconsistency is maybe a detriment to that. Again, there are low quality products on there and people that might actually have a good future in developing products feel like they're being oppressed by the approval system. Whereas again, like shopping basket 12 can be approved, but just because the aspect ratio of an image is wrong on someone else's, they get declined. So I guess we'll leave it there. If you made it this far through the video, put a bee related emoji in the comments because Blender Market is going to become Superhive and there's a bee in their iconography. I don't know if there still is, but it makes sense. You're welcome to leave your opinion, but I would just ask that keep it civil, please. Yes, Blender Market is a business, but there are real people that work on it behind the scenes. And they are also people that have contributed to the Blender community in other ways, people that you may not even know work for them. And yeah, I don't like being confrontational. So I hope this hasn't come off that way. Thank you for watching, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.